the beginning of this year, I chose one word, and the word was freedom. And every decision and accomplishment that I've been able to achieve this year ties back to that one word. If you are a woman over 40 and you do not know where to start, I want you to start here. So let me tell you exactly what happened when I got intentional. This year was a groundbreaking year for me. Every year, I choose a word of the year. And this year, my year was freedom. In past years, I've had words like surrender, peace, joy, clarity, and I've been doing this for the past 8 to 10 years. And there's something about this year that really stands out above all other years, because this isn't a resolution. This isn't about me setting 50 goals. This was me coming into this year being very intentional. Every decision that I make has to tie into that word, freedom. And for me, that meant financial freedom. Financial freedom meaning I want to be debt free. I also want to have the freedom to build on my own terms. And so that word is very important. And every year that I come up with my word, the intentionality is so deep to where I put that word as a screensaver on my phone. So every morning when I wake up, I see the word. Every time I open my phone, I see the word. And everything that I do throughout the day, I'm always reminded of why I'm doing that thing. And so this year, the word being freedom, I made a promise to myself. I'm going to, number one, I'm going to do YouTube full time. And I know it sounds silly, but God had spoken to me 2 years ago in 2024 and told me to do YouTube. And I tried and I quit because it was tough. I tried again in 2025, did a 3-month challenge. Things didn't look the way I wanted it to look, so I quit again. And when I tell you I have never quit anything in my life, this is one of the first things that I walked away from. But I always came back. And so I finally said, okay, 2026, this is the year. Because you're not a quitter. You always figure things out. This is going to be the toughest thing. And it has been. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. And it's crazy to think and say that doing YouTube full time has been one of the most difficult things that I've done in my career. But it's the truth. Because it has stretched me beyond not just creatively, but honestly, mentally. And so I knew it was going to be tough, but I had built an environment to where I knew I could do it. So that was the first goal of the year. Do YouTube full time and get monetized, which I knew was going to be a tough feat ahead of me. Second goal, pay off all my consumer debt. I didn't see a way for that, but I set that goal. My third goal, increase my credit score. It had never dropped in my life below a 700, and at this time, it was below that. So I knew I had to increase my credit score. And goal number 4 was to max out my retirement accounts. That, to me, represented freedom in the season that I'm currently in my life. And I told myself, if I can achieve those 4 goals, which was a lot to achieve in 1 year, I know not only am I on the right path, but I know that I am capable of achieving anything that I set my mind to. Did it work? Well, I am super excited to say that I have accomplished a lot in this short amount of time. Yes, it worked. And I believe it worked because this year, not only was I intentional to ensure that that word came true in my life, but I made sure that I said no to anything and everything that did not align with my purpose for this year. I released myself of the burden of saying yes to people, saying yes to situations, saying yes to things that would distract me from my goals. So goal number 1, do YouTube full time. I started February 3rd. I embarked on a 100-day challenge, meaning I posted a long form video every single day for 100 days. When I hit 100 days, I still wasn't monetized. I didn't know if I had it in me to keep going. If anybody has done YouTube in their life, if anyone has done content creation in their life, they know the mental capacity you have to have in order to film and upload a 10-minute plus video every single day for 100 days. I'm so happy that I embarked on this challenge because number one, I love a good challenge. Number two, I started to exercise the muscle and I started to learn how to do YouTube without depending on a script. Do I have my notes, especially if I'm, throwing numbers at you? Absolutely. But the old way that I did YouTube was much different. I was stressed. I wasn't happy in my environment. I did not, have the ideas that I have now. And during that challenge, I realized the best way for me to do this is to just document my journey. And so during that time, I pivoted from a teaching standpoint to a more storytelling. And I fell in love with it. I really, it took a lot of, I guess, the fear of sharing too much and how much do I share to, I'm just going to document my journey. And if it resonates with people, great. If it doesn't, I have my journey set in stone, documented. So when I do reach my goals, I can come back and look at how far I've come. And so for me, it was twofold. It was me doing it for myself, proving that I can do it and achieve it, but then also me trying to inspire others to do the same if they are on a similar journey. And so after the 100 days, I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm not monetized. Like I have to reach my goal. Do I have to keep going? And I decided yes, at any cost. It needs to happen. You need to do this. Like you've already put in 100 days. You quit now. You've done all of that for nothing. So then I said, okay, let's keep going. I'm going to go to 200 days. And it's so funny if you have a relationship with God, especially like the one I have with God, I talk to him in a certain way where sometimes I do negotiate. I'm like, God, listen, this was your plan. You told me to do this, but I know I'm going to get tired soon. So I need to get monetized before the 200 days. And I'll probably do another video about this because it was amazing how it all happened. But I embarked on it. And finally, within 175 days, I got monetized. Got invited into the YouTube Partner Program. I'm so excited that I did because now that they just changed the rules, now it's double the watch hours. I'm so excited that I made a plan to do it when I did it because I can't even imagine having to reach that 8,000 milestone because it was tough enough to get to that 4,000. But goal number one accomplished. Okay. Took me 6 months to do it. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Would I do it again? Yes. Goal number two, pay off all your consumer debt. Within 5 months, I paid off over $20,000 of consumer debt. And all is left is my student loans. Goal number 2 of the year, accomplished. Goal number 3, increase your credit score back to above 700. Little did I know when I would pay off my debt, my credit score would go up 67 points. And that's exactly what happened. And it's still going to climb up because I just paid off another credit card. So I'm assuming I would reach the 760s, 780s soon. But right now it's at a 744. I started at a 677. So it increased by 67 points, which was a huge shock to me because I didn't really understand how utilization score impacts your credit. So my last goal is to max out my retirement accounts. Now that to me is still a big goal, but it's easier because now I don't have that debt. All that money that I was putting in towards my debt every single month can now be funding my Roth IRA, my SEP IRA, and my brokerage accounts. But all in all to say, did it work? Absolutely, yes, it did work. Am I proud of myself? Absolutely. Do I wish I can do more? Yes, because I love to challenge myself even more. And so now it's really about me doing retirement and investing full time and really figuring out a way to reach my goals faster than what I have set for myself. I want to notate this quickly, that none of this happened by accident. All of this happened because I was very intentional. It all happened because number one, God, him giving me an idea, me being obedient and surrendering to his will. Number two, me trusting his plan, even when it did not seem logical with where I'm at in this season. You want me just to do YouTube? Like, how am I going to make money? Trust me, just do YouTube. And the money always came. The money always came. And so it's astonishing how much I look back in my life and I realized how much God was just at the center of everything. But even me just trusting when it was hard to trust. I think that's the most important thing that I want someone watching this video to take from, to say, you have to be able to surrender. If you are starting over, if you're a woman over 40, if you are a man over 40, or even in your 30s, and you are in a place where you are pivoting and you are trying to find the path that was set for you, there has to come a point where you surrender and you stay obedient, even when it looks difficult. And it's funny because those two words were words that I had of the year, previous years. I believe surrender was year 2022. Obedience was around that time too. Maybe it was 2021 or maybe it was 2023. But those were words of the year at some point. And remember, surrender was the year that I took a full sabbatical year. So I'm very intentional when I hear God speak to me. And I want anybody watching this video to be able to, if you are a believer, to sit with God to get that clarity, because it's very hard to move when you don't have that clarity and peace, knowing that, okay, no matter how difficult it is, I'm going to stay on this path because this is what he told me to do. So this was very intentional. Now, let me tell you why I'm sharing this with you and why it really matters. Because I truly believe, even when I coach clients and I work with people and I speak with people, everybody sets goals. We all set goals. But I think the difference is a lot of these goals are vague. I want to lose weight this year. I want to make more money. Those are not specific. When you choose a word of the year, it allows you to get very specific and focus in on that thing. Because this year, like I mentioned, anything that did not align with freedom, I said no to. If I get invited to do a podcast, I said no. If I got invited to do a magazine featured, I said no. I would say no to anything and everything. If I got invited to speak and it didn't align, I said no. And I was okay with that. The old me would have had FOMO and felt like maybe I'm missing out on an opportunity. But I'll always remember what a pastor once said: every opportunity is not an assignment from God. And you have to know the difference, because you can have an opportunity right in front of you, but it can be the thing that distracts you from the thing that God has called you to do. An assignment is something that is specifically designed for you. God has already fully equipped you with the resources, with the wisdom, with the peace, with the faith to see that thing through. And so I had to be comfortable in this season to turn down things that were not in alignment with the purpose that he has set in front of me. And so when you choose a word for the year, like freedom or clarity or obedience, surrender, whatever your word is, it allows you to zero in and stay focused on that thing. And you'll be surprised by the people that fall away, the circumstances that fall away, the naysayers, the doubters, the haters, right? All the things that are distractions, they slowly start to peel away and fall away. And it allows you, gives you the freedom to really focus on the thing that matters most to you, which is achieving and reaching your goal. And so if someone is watching this video right now, I want to tell you this: you don't need a 30-page plan. You don't need to sit there and overthink the process. Just choose a word and stick with it. I don't care if we're halfway through the year. This works at any time. You don't have to wait until January to get started. People feel like, oh, I got to wait till January 1st. No, you don't. You just need to make the decision today. Decide today what you want and go with it, because that is the only way that you are going to reframe your mindset and get from an unstuck position and start to move towards the thing that you desire most. Sometimes we are our worst enemies. We get in our own way. We overthink things. We start to self-sabotage. We have that imposter syndrome. We allow fear and doubt and all the naysayers. All of those things are distractions, limiting beliefs, negative self-talk. You have to be able to release that. And that is something that I learned this year. When I set that word for the year, I knew it was going to be difficult. Freedom. I mean, that's a tough word. Financial freedom is what it meant for me. And just the freedom and ability to do what I desire to do without worrying about what other people are thinking. Did I move back home at 43? Yes. Do I care what anyone else thinks about that? No, because I've achieved so much. You have to be comfortable with the decisions that you make for your life, no matter what anybody thinks. And so if someone is watching this right now, I want to tell you that you got this. If you are in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, 50s, 60s, I don't care how old you are. Choose the word that you can stick to, or choose a motto that you can stick to for the remainder of this year, and set a goal. Doesn't have to be 4 like I chose, but set one goal. Because I'm telling you right now, had I not done that this year, I would not be in YouTube's partner program. I would not have paid off all my consumer debt. I would not have increased my credit score on the way to an 800 score, by the way. And I would not have put myself in position now that I know I can max out my retirement accounts by the end of the year. My goals, when I set them in January, seemed impossible. I didn't know the way. I didn't have a clear plan, but I had God and I trusted in his plan. And I knew that I had the skills. I knew that I had the mindset. I knew that I had the wisdom to see it through. And I knew along the way I would receive the resources and the knowledge that I need. If I didn't know how to figure it out in that moment, it was going to come to me. And so I want to encourage you to go for it. You got this. Just leave you with this. Anything is possible if you believe it is. If you think you can, you will. And if you think you can't, you won't. It's really that simple. If you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Dupe Alaru. This was your daily dose with Dupe. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love to invite you to come back. So subscribe. And until next time, I just want to wish you all a beautiful and blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.